Step right up, dummies, and listen to the stupidest sports show on earth with Rodney Newpol and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah. Well, hello, dummies, and welcome to episode number 138 of the stupidest sports show on earth. My name, as you all know, is Tim the Yankee Clipper Van Stratton. Alongside me is Rodney Newpol. Happy opening day eve, my friend. How are you?
Yeah, your Yankees get going tomorrow. I think of opening day as Thursday with the rest of the squads and including my St. Louis Cardinals. But yeah, you go tomorrow. So yeah, happy opening day, and I'm excited for baseball. It hits me the Monday after the tournament. I'm like, oh yeah, baseball's starting.
This is exactly what our forefathers intended with the sport of baseball. They said, you know what? My vision for this sport is to start it on a Wednesday in March on Netflix.
Yeah. On Netflix, yeah. Yeah, that's funny you bring that up. Yeah, that's funny that you bring it up because every year we have the conversation about the weather for a lot of these openers. Well, I'm here to tell you that St. Louis on Thursday, a high of 93 degrees on March 26th.
Thank you, St. Louis. Hey, well, listen, I have many a times with you, both on this show and in our own private conversations, told you my plan for how the first 2 weeks of the season should exclusively be played in indoor or somewhat warmer weather climates. And although it's tough, St. Louis does qualify in my list of being in that warmer weather. I have them just with the sheer amount of teams on the East Coast and like playing in colder climates. St. Louis barely, but like it made the list. So congratulations, Busch Stadium. You still get your opening day at home for 2 weeks.
So I'm gonna head to I'm going to St. Louis Thursday, and don't worry, I'll be back for the show. But it's crazy because a high of 93 on Thursday, and then it drops down to 30 degrees by Friday morning. So 63 degree fall. But man, oh man, it's going to be crazy. And I've been to some opening days where it was like 38 and rainy. So I honestly think I might get sunburned. I'm sitting in the bleachers. I might get sunburned.
Yeah. Bleachers, similar to where we sat in August, where it was very hot. It was very hot in August. There was no drops to 30 degrees there. Everything was sticky. Everything.
Yeah, they won't be as sticky, but it's going to be hot. It's going to be hot. But I'm looking forward to it. Going to go see another opening day. I always kind of get spur of the moment. Like, yeah, I'm going to go to opening day, and that's what I'm doing this year. So
yeah. It is against the Rays. It is a team in Tampa Bay that you have long admired. Obviously, you are a Cardinals fan, but I think that you have a soft spot for the Rays. And it's a revenge game of sorts for Matthew Liberatore against the franchise that he was previously with. So, I wouldn't be surprised if the Cardinals get that win, man, in front of the best fans in baseball. I'm excited. That'll be one of the earlier games. That's a 3:15 first pitch Central Time. First game is Pirates Mets 12:15 on NBC. Welcome to Major League Baseball, NBC. So first two games of the season we have on Netflix and NBC.
The days of our lives fans are not going to be very happy at noon on Thursday because their show is not on. But yeah, no, it's going to be good. And honestly, we can get to opening day more when we talk the games and stuff. But I am looking forward to the debut of JJ Weatherholt. And I don't know if he's going to be a stud, and I'm sure we're going to be overhyping him as Cardinal fans, but he will start his Major League debut on Thursday, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he plays.
Is he officially going to be starting? I know he made the roster, but is he going to be their starting second baseman or shortstop, or where they? Well, not shortstop. Mason Wynn's there, but second base, is that the plan?
I would assume he'll lock in the second base position, move Nolan Gorman over to third. Alec Burleson will play first, and that'll be your roster. Probably Ivan Herrera will be the DH. It's gonna. You
Rodney,
saw my article today.
It's too early in the show to get me this excited hearing those types of names thrown at me. That level of star power, I don't think we're equipped to handle. And I promise I didn't forget. So you wrote a very good, and I mean this, I really enjoyed it, a very good article today about the Cardinals and some of the interesting facts about their opening day roster this year that once we talk some baseball a little bit later, I really want you to get in on. But I want to, well, first off, I guess let's just give a shout out to Gateway Sports. They have supported us for all of the months that we've been talking nonsense, talking lots of football. And I'm sure that personally, they're very happy that we're going to be incorporating a lot more baseball talk in this show here over the next several months here. So just want to give a shout out to them. I know, Rodney, you have some words to say that come from the heart where it comes to Gateway Sports.
Yeah. And honestly, if anybody from Gateway Sports is going to be at Busch on Thursday, I would love to see you there. But honestly, so yeah, Gateway Sports, if you love sports at every level, can you hear me? Yeah, you can hear me. There's only one place you need to be. Gateway Sports covers it all: preps, college, and the pros. Real coverage, real voices, real passion for the game. From live shows to podcasts, Gateway Sports connects the region like nobody else. Proudly powered by First Form and Recalibrate. Visit gatewaysports.net. Every level, one gateway. Yes, that's the picture right there. That could be us. Well, the Yankees aren't in town tomorrow, but I'll probably be wearing that red jersey on. Maybe I'll pull that hat back out as well.
It's a good jersey. No, it's a fresh jersey. It's really good. I definitely recommend it. But all right, let's now. I feel like this has become the Rodney show because we're going from Cardinals talk to March Madness, and we've made it to the Sweet 16. What can I ask you? So after the 4 days are done, where it was just nonstop college basketball, and it's just all that's been on your TV is college hoops. Is there a part of you that like on Monday is like, I miss it, or are you like, I need a break from it? Where are you at typically after the 4-day like March Madness frenzy?
Yeah, it's time to move on, right? Like it's time to move on. It's time to do other things. It's time to have other things on. I don't even have the TV on tonight, but it's a lot of basketball. I love it. I don't miss it. I don't miss any of the games. I look forward to it every year, but by about Sunday afternoon, it's like, okay, all right, we need to get to the field of 16, slow it down. And I like the Sweet 16. I like the Elite 8 because we're going to get some amazing matchups, some absolutely amazing matchups. But it's not as exciting. It's not as much of a rush as the first 4 days because I think it's something about that 11 o'clock Thursday start. Like you're literally going to get it the rest of the day. You get up, you eat your breakfast, you get a little work done, you get Prices Right on, you get Prices Right on. You get Bob Barker, Drew Carey, and then you got basketball. And we're not going to get that. Now we are going to get 6:05 starts with Duke and St. John's, but we got some fantastic games coming up.
Yeah, and looking at the bracket, so there's a couple like big overarching storylines here. Yeah. After the first weekend. So first of all, like after the opening round, we had all of the 1, 2, 3, and 4 seeds all advance to the round of 32. That's for one. Yes. The second component, now we did have upsets. We saw Florida go down in a great game against Iowa, which, I think I possibly Tim cursed that one by saying very early that Florida was going to beat them by 20 plus. So I will apologize to Gator Nation out there. That's on me. That's on me. Balls off me, coach. And then 3 seed Gonzaga being bounced. But aside from those, we're sitting here and we're looking at, a 2 versus 3 in Illinois versus Houston, a 1 versus 4 in Arizona versus Arkansas. We're seeing, Alabama, Michigan, a 1 versus 4. We're seeing a 2 versus 3, UConn versus Michigan State. And these aren't just really like peak matchup seed wise, but these are big brands too. Even the quote unquote Cinderellas, the 2 lowest seeds remaining, Rodney, are the scrappy underdogs of Iowa, Big Ten,
Yeah.
And the University of Texas is your lone double-digit seed remaining. Texas, they were a playing team, but Texas obviously looked really good these last couple weeks, and I don't think anyone is ever going to look at Texas and say that's a Cinderella.
Right.
But that's I think my overall impression of the tournament right now is like it's the brands, and I think it's really going to help ratings. Where are you at with it?
Yeah, and coaching matters too. You have 14 of the 16 coaches that have not only been to Sweet 16s, but been to multiple Sweet 16s. The only two guys that are coaching in the Sweet 16 that have never coached in the Division I Sweet 16, Fred Hoiberg and Ben McCollum. Now, Ben McCollum has been to many Sweet 16s in college basketball at the D2 level and things like that. But those two guys, now they're matched up against each other. But you look at the rest of them, John Shire, Dan Hurley, Tom Izzo, Rick Pitino, Kelvin Sampson, Brad Underwood, going right down the list. Tommy Lloyd, Matt Painter, John Calipari, Sean Miller has won a bunch of them, TJ Otzelberger, Dusty May, Nate Oates, and Rick Barnes, all of them, not just one, but multiple Sweet 16s, and many of them have been to Elite Eight and then Final Four. So I think coaching matters big time, and we are seeing what we all kind of thought, like the big boys are separating from the rest, right? Like the underdogs survive for a while, and maybe they'll win a game, maybe they'll play for 30 to 32 minutes, such as like a Siena, but it just kind of run out of gas. It takes an extra special level for those guys to win. They just don't have the depth, and the big dogs are at the top.
Yeah, we saw it a little bit with High Point. That win that they had on Thursday against Wisconsin was thrilling. It was a bunch of threes that were being thrown at, and it just seemed like everything broke right for them. Saturday, they were able to definitely give a little bit of run to Arkansas, but you kind of saw it at the end too. It's like, oh yeah, this is the difference. This is why this is the difference between an SEC team coached by John Calipari versus High Point. And you saw it there at the end, and like it was still a 6-point game, but yeah, you're absolutely right. Eventually, there's a ceiling on where all of these sort of underdogs can realistically finish in the tournament. I also wanted to throw this out there too, where this is now 2 straight years. Well, last year we had 4 number 1 seeds. This year we're down to 1 seed, but not really a ton of upsets. There's no true, there's no mid-majors. There's no Cinderellas that are left right now. Is this sort of the new norm in the NIL transfer portal, where the guys that normally would stay on and be at VCU for years, or this when VCU was still a smaller school, or Davidson or Loyola or all those schools, like where they would stay and grow together for years, as opposed to being there for a year, having a decent stint in the tournament and then transferring to a big school.
No, that is definitely what's going to happen. Is the big guys, the Power 5 conferences, the top 20 to 25 teams I think are going to be back over and over and over. And I think some things could happen. There could be coaching changes. I mean, I think you can include North Carolina in the top 25 of most years. Now they've had a couple struggles, but they're going to have a major change with coaching. Now that used to be a big deal to lose your coach in March, because like, you're now figuring out, who's going to come in. But now it could be a big deal the positive way, because let's say they bring in let's just throw out Dusty May. Let's say they bring in a Dusty May from Michigan. Well, he's instantly, the day he comes on that job, he's going to be able to grab almost anybody he wants, because the portal is still open. Any of those guys can jump in the portal and say, you know what, I want to go play for Dusty May over at North Carolina, and I'm eligible right away. And he could have a top roster the next day if things work out for him. So it's a whole new landscape. And there's talk Bill Self is going to retire at Kansas. Now he's got great guys, but they go hire TJ. I don't know about TJ Otzelberger, but they hire somebody, and it could go one of 2 ways. And I think that's just such a huge key.
Yeah. Oh, you're absolutely right. And it's there's the difference too. Like these coaches can go, they can take their own players. They basically have this, like, the sky's the limit for what they can do, and they can have such a quick, instant turnaround. I mean, Iowa's had a quick turnaround. Michigan, I mean, has become a powerhouse right now. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So I guess now the next question here is, after 4 days of technically 6 if you count the first 4, want to give the games in Dayton some love. Rodney, college basketball expert, how's your bracket? How's your bracket?
I mean, I'm okay. I think the problem this year is, like, most everybody that filled out brackets, like, went pretty chalk, right? Like, I don't hardly know of anybody that was like, oh, I'm upset heavy. So you're not really on top of any of these people. And it's going to really, in this year more than ever, it's really going to come down to, did you pick the correct champion? Because there are going to be teams that have Arizona, Duke, Michigan. That's really, there's going to be a sprinkle of UConn, Illinois, Houston, Iowa State. Mm-hmm. But, like, that's what it's going to come down to, is, do you have the champion if you're going to win a bracket contest? I'm right in the middle, or maybe the high middle. I have, I think, 13 Sweet 16s, and I think all my Elite 8 still are out there. So, like, I have a chance, but, like, I feel like everybody's in the same boat right now.
It's pretty good. Yeah, I'm counting here. So let's see. I have 7. I know I have 7 of my Elite 8. The one that I lost was Gonzaga. Regrettable. After seeing Gonzaga in the first game, I was like, there's no way that this team is going to make it to the Elite 8. So I'm not surprised. Not surprised that Texas was able to beat them. Let's see. Sweet 16. I got 1. I got the East. I got the East, like, perfectly. So that's good. Florida, shocker. I had Florida in there. Yeah. So let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do I really only have 6 of the Sweet 16s? Oh, brother. Yeah. It's probably why this might be why I'm in, like, the 67th percentile, and where I was like, I've only lost 1 Elite 8 team. Why is that? It's because I've only got 6 of my Sweet 16 teams. So
yeah, that's not good.
Yeah. Oh no, I got more than that. I miscounted, but you get the idea. It hasn't been very good, but listen. Right, at the end of the day, man, if I get my Final Four, I'll be happy. If I had to redo my Final Four, I would probably put Michigan in there over Iowa State, even though Iowa State's look really good. But, like, Michigan right now, even though, I don't know if you know this, but the Big Ten hasn't won a national championship in over 25 years. Michigan looks really, really damn good. And
they do.
I don't know if someone is going to beat them. I don't.
Yeah, I mean, first up is Alabama, and Alabama has the possibility, because they're going to be a lot like St. Louis, where they are going to score. But I don't know as if Alabama can hang for 40 minutes. I mean, Alabama's a lot like Michigan just saw in St. Louis, just better. So that's going to be an interesting one. If they have Iowa State in the Elite 8, Cyclones play enough defense that I think, and they got enough dudes that I still think you could be right on that one.
Yeah.
But yeah, Michigan. So, but the Big Ten, you said it, not me. 26 years. They have like a 40% chance starting tomorrow starting Thursday of winning this. 6 of 16. 6 out of 16 teams, they got like a 40% chance. Don't blow that, Big Ten. This would be one of the biggest choke jobs of all time if they can't get 40% to come down as a national champion.
Yeah. So we know for sure that at least one is going to make the Elite 8. Iowa or Nebraska is going to the Elite 8. So they got one.
Yeah, wild. Huh? Yeah. Wild. That South region, there's 3 of them.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's funny. There's 3 of them, and yet I feel like the favorite is none of them. It's Houston. In Houston.
Yeah. But so that's crazy, because you're gonna get a pro Houston crowd in Houston, but Nebraska, Iowa, and Illinois are going to travel so well. Mm-hmm. They're going to travel really well. All 3 of those programs will travel really well.
Man, the Nebraska crowd in particular has been insane. Boy, did Nebraska really travel well. And their game against Vanderbilt was, for my money, I think that was the best game of the entire tournament.
Great game. And dude should have made that. That ball went in and came out.
Yes. Yes, it went in.
But yes, so the Big Ten will have one chance out of the East, and that's Michigan State. They got obviously 3 chances out of the South. They have 1 chance out of the West in Purdue, and they have the 1 chance in the Midwest. So we could still see an all Big Ten Final Four, which would be so disgusting. So disgusting. There'd be so many.
I feel like
so many orgasms going on around here that it'd be so disgusting.
If you had to live that nightmare scenario, Rodney, where let's say it was, so it would be Michigan State, it would be Purdue, it would be Michigan, and then let's just say Illinois. Let's just say, what's the team in there that you're like you're least upset with winning out of that group? It's Michigan, right?
Michigan. Yeah. I really like Dusty May. I think, and it's funny that people say, well, he was a manager for Bobby Knight. He is absolutely nothing like Bobby Knight. In fact, Dusty May is really cool, calm, and collected on the sidelines. He seems like he's doing things the right way, kind of a player's coach. I would probably put it in Michigan, Purdue, Michigan State, Illinois in that order as far as what I want.
Yeah. So you don't want Illinois to win the national championship is what I'm saying.
I'd prefer not. I'd prefer not.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. What do you say?
They don't even have Illinois guys. They have all these Europeans. Like, what happened to like our state, man? Like, I thought they prided themselves on getting our guys. They're not our guys.
That is a good point. Obviously I used to be a lot more sort of in touch with what Illinois was doing, but yeah, you're right. It was, Sumu and like all these like Chicago guys and in-state guys. And now this is Stojakovic.
They have Visic and they have all these Balkans guys. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, they have a whole bunch of Europeans. But anyways, we'll see.
Yeah. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Yeah,
no,
Brian Wardle's first several years at Bradley, that's how he built the whole damn team. It was just like the United Nations of like getting, we're gonna get D'Lo from the UK, and we're gonna get this Dutch guy, and we're gonna get this Finnish guy, and it's like that's how you do it, man. That's how you do it. So I love that strategy, but yeah, you're right. Somewhere along the line, Brad Underwood changed how he built his program.
But I will say that Illinois-Houston game will be a tremendous game, and it's a Sweet 16 game, but it could definitely be a Final Four or even national championship type game.
Oh, yeah. All right. So if you're good, I'm good to talk a little baseball. Baseball back. We did it. We made it. I got the green light earlier today from Rodney that he is now ready to go into baseball mode. He has put it off as long as he possibly could, all the way up until the day before the first day of the regular season. And now here we are. So where do you want to begin, man? I guess we could start right off the bat. I do want to hear those fun Cardinals facts again, in case people didn't get around to reading your article today. But I do want to go through real quickly, like each division, just sort of give our initial thoughts, give our picks, sort of what we did last year. Hopefully we're better than we were last year. But I'll let you sort of lead us here with this Cardinals thing, because I'm so fascinated by all of it.
Yeah, so the Cardinals coming into Thursday's game with their opening day roster, the Cardinals are the only team in Major League Baseball without a former All-Star on the opening day roster. Not one guy has ever been an All-Star in Major League Baseball that's on this roster. Not one. That includes teams like the White Sox and the Rockies, who are clearly rebuilding and not doing a very good job of it. They have at least one player who's made an All-Star team. The Cardinals don't. The other one that came to mind, for the first time since 1995, the Cardinals will open the season without a player on the roster who has hit 100 career home runs. There's not a single guy that has hit 100 career home runs for the Cardinals. And then the final one, they have 0 players that debuted in the 2010s. So nobody in the 10s all the way through the 19s. every hitter on the roster made their debut in 2020 or later. That is certainly not normal for Major League Baseball teams. Very young team, a very inexperienced team, a rebuilding team. And I don't know if it's going to be a decent team or an absolutely terrible team, but they're going to trot out Thursday on opening day, and we'll find out. But I'm going to try to kind of have the open mind of like, is there an opportunity for this team to build and be better in the future and not necessarily worried about what place they're in all the time?
Yeah.
That's difficult because how I've always kind of gauged the Cardinals is, they're 3 back, they're 6 up. They're going to make the playoffs. I think I just got to wipe playoffs out of my brain and just kind of watch. And I hardly ever done this as a Cardinal fan. It's a whole new perspective on how to look at the organization. We'll see, but it's an interesting roster. I am excited again about JJ Weatherholt and Mason Lynn up the middle.
So allow me to offer you some thoughts about this, because I think what you said is great. And yeah, you have never, and the Cardinals really have never gone into a season being like, yeah, we're probably not going to be very good, but we'll see what happens. They've always pride themselves as a winner, and a team that can win. Even if you and other fans were like, this team's no good, they never admitted it. But I think now is the first year that they're like, hey, this is kind of a rebuild happening. So as someone who used to root for a team that would go into many a seasons being bad, I think you have the right mindset. I think you have to realize that the Cardinals are not going to be a playoff team this year. ESPN today, they put out a power ranking, all 30 teams. They had the Cardinals 26th with a projected record of 70-92. They're going to be probably 4th place at best in the division. But the season is a success if JJ Weatherholt shows that he belongs in the major leagues, if guys like Jordan Walker can be a post-hype guy who suddenly emerges and it's like, hey, that's why he was as highly regarded of a prospect as he is. If there are certain pitchers that are able to step up and cement their spots in the rotations. So you're really looking not as the team, but as individual efforts, the guys who are going to be core pieces for the Cardinals over the next several years. If you get a few of those guys, it doesn't matter what the record is. You can lose 100. Right. You can lose 100 games if at the end of the season you're like, hey, you know what? We sucked, but we had 2 players that played at an all-star level this year. We now have a core. We have a foundation that we can build around. That's it. And once you go through it through that perspective, the season, it's not as bad. It really isn't.
Right, which I think is probably why I'm okay with Ali Marmol staying with the organization. You mind is, from all accounts, players still seem to like him. He seems to be good with the guys. And so okay, as long as you temper the expectations that Ali Marmol is not necessarily there to lead them to the playoffs, he's there to help them grow in their game and to hopefully be part in the next couple of years of a better organization, Cardinals. But yeah, because there was a lot of questions when they re-upped him. Like, why? Well, why bring somebody new in when you got somebody that is willing? Because a lot of managers aren't even necessarily willing to go through a rebuild, right? Like,
no. There would really be no interest or very minimal interest for managers if that job was open and they were saying, hey, so listen, so we're going to hire you, but we are going to trade all these veterans. We're going to be a very young team. We're not going to have a single all-star on the team whatsoever. We don't expect to be good. So how does that sound?
Yeah,
it'd be like, it sounds terrible. Like, no, not going to do it. So yeah, you're like, no manager would come in unless they're inheriting a team that's like, hey, we want to bring you in because we think that you can elevate this team. But that's not really a priority for the Cardinals. It's Marmol sort of steadying the ship, saying, hey, you know what? Keep these guys happy, keep them engaged, help them just grow and get better, learn how to be professionals, and then you go from there. Yeah.
Yeah. No. So it'll be fascinating to watch. And I mean, I'm ready. I don't know how much watching I'll be doing, or if mostly just following and listening, because I don't know if I'm committing to 2.5 hours of losing.
No. Well, hey, listen, it might be like 2 hours and 20 minutes, constantly trying to speed up the game a little bit.
Yeah. Good point.
Yeah. All right. Let's do some season predictions here. So, I figured the best way to do this here is we just run through sort of division by division. Oh, okay. Now, unlike the NFL predictions, I did not have time to go through and do win-loss for every single team in Major League Baseball. And honestly, I probably won't have records either, because the records won't line up unless I go through. So I think we just sort of we just give our thoughts on the division. We pick who we think's going to win, and we go from there. So where do you want to start? I'll let you pick where we jump off here.
We're going to go with the AL East first. Mm-hmm. And I am going to take the Toronto Blue Jays to win the division and the New York Yankees to finish second in the division.
So I think we can both agree that this is, I think, pretty comfortably the toughest division in the sport.
Yeah.
I've been very high on the Blue Jays, which that's not really a hot take. They almost won the World Series last year. They had a very good offseason, but they've struggled, I think, a lot in spring with injuries. There's a lot of pitchers. Like, they have like 3 pitchers that are all going to start the year on the IL, which is not ideal. They lost Bo Bichette as well. So I kind of keep going back and forth in here. I think the Blue Jays at their healthiest are the most complete roster. I do. Do I think that necessarily means they'll win the division? I don't know. So I'm going to pull the homer card and sort of go against what I've been saying for the last few weeks. And I'm going to take a Yankee team that is going into the season healthy, that is going to get Garrett Cole back in the rotation for more than half of the year, that is going to enter with more stability in the bullpen than they had last season. And I'm going to take the Yankees to win the division. I'm going to say the Yankees win. I'm going to say the Red Sox finish second. And then I'm going to take the Blue Jays, Orioles, Rays. It's my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay.
However, I'd also like to point out that both the Red Sox and the Blue Jays will be wild card teams.
All right. I've got the Blue Jays and Yankees. Let's see. We're at 4 wild cards these days, aren't we? God, I can't remember.
How many damn wild cards are there, Manfred? I think there's 3. There's 3.
It's so crazy. Like, a guy that's followed this religiously, and I can't remember how many wild cards there are. Why did I say 4? I don't know.
You're telling me it's like there's every year. Oh, we added another wild card. Oh, it's the best of this. Oh, it's not one game anymore. It's best of 3. Oh, this is best of 5. It's like, it used to be so easy, man. You're so right. It was so easy. We had it perfect.
Every league,
there's 3 wild cards though.
Yeah. Every sport changes too. I'm like, I don't remember. Okay, so I'll take Toronto and the Yankees out of the East. I'm going to move to the Central, and I'm going to take the Tigers to win the division at plus 110. And I'm going to take Kansas City. I'll be your Huckleberry to finish second and also make the playoffs. So my theme is all 3 divisions get 2 teams in this year. I'm going to take Detroit, Kansas City in the AL Central.
What? I don't know what it is about the Royals. I look at their team every year and I'm like, I see something special there. And I look at their lineup and I'm like, I see something special. But they never end up like hitting the expectations. So like, I don't know. I don't think I could do that. I probably have to play it safe and take the Tigers. They're a team that should have run away with the division last year if it wasn't for an absolutely historic meteoric collapse and falling to Cleveland. That's not going to happen again. So I'd say Detroit wins this division pretty comfortably in what could be Tarek Scuba's last year in Detroit. I'll take Kansas City again. I'll follow that up with Cleveland by default. And this might be a bold one here because I know like the White Sox are real, they've really torn it down to the studs. But I feel like if there's a team that is just going to be absolutely dismal or more dismal than like I think anyone's expecting, it's the Minnesota Twins. I have no faith or confidence in the Minnesota Twins to do anything resembling close to winning this year. So I'm going to just be a little bold and say the White Sox finished just ahead of the Twins for 4th place in the division.
Okay. All right, American League West, I will take the Seattle Mariners at even money to win the division. And my second place, it's close between the 2 Texas teams. I'm going to take the Houston Astros to get second, just edging out the Texas Rangers. And both of them make the playoffs, Seattle and Houston. So I've got Toronto, Detroit, Seattle, Yankees, Kansas City, and Houston making my AL playoffs.
All right. So I, too, have the Seattle Mariners. I think that the Mariners are comfortably the best team in that division. But I'm going to give you my boldest prediction here of the American League. The Athletics, just the Athletics. There's no Oakland, there's no Sacramento, just Athletics. Will finish second place and will be the 3rd and final wild card team in the American League.
Over overall anybody in the Central. So you've only got Detroit in the Central.
Well, yes. That's not a bold take. I think it's probably bolder though to say that the Athletics finish ahead of Houston and Texas because I do think that like Houston and Texas could both be pretty solid this year. But yes, the A's are loaded offensively. They play in an incredibly hitters-friendly ballpark, so they're going to score a ton of runs. The real sort of X factor for them is going to be with pitching, because they play in such a hitter's park, pitching is going to be a struggle. But I think that they don't need to be elite pitching to be a playoff contender. I think they just need to be competent. So I think they get competent pitching, great hitting, and it's enough to get them to like 86 wins, good for that 3rd wild card spot in the American League. Okay.
That's a hot take, but all right. Seattle and
someone's got to do it. Someone's got to do it. I was on the Reds last year, and maybe the A's are my Reds this year. I think the A's are going to surprise a lot of people. But just to round it out, then I'll take the Texas Rangers 3rd. I'll put the Astros in 4th and the Angels 5th.
All right. So we have 2 different playoff teams. I have Toronto. Well, see, you have Boston and the Athletics, and I have the Royals and the Astros making the playoffs. All right. Yep. So there we go. Yep. There's a couple different. All right, we'll move to the National League East. I am going to take the New York Mets to win the National League East. They are plus 140. I'm going to take the Mets to barely edge out the Phillies, who barely edge out the Braves, and then the Marlins and Nationals fit at the end. I'm going to take the Mets to win the NL East.
I wish the Braves could stay healthy. I was on the Braves last year. I took the Braves to win the World Series. I think a healthy Braves team is still excellent, but they can't stay healthy. And Strider's on the IL, and Schwellenbeck's going to miss a ton of time. So by default, I cannot take the Mets out of principle because I know how that story ends. So I'll take the Phillies. Then I'll take the Mets. Then I'll take the Braves. And then it will go Marlins 4th, Nationals 5th.
Probably about right.
But I don't feel good about it. I really don't. I really don't feel good about it. And like the Mets have a very, very solid roster. But because they're the Mets, I can't bring myself to do it.
All right. National League Central, I'm going to take Chicago Cubs easily. I think it'll be easy NL Central runaway this year. I think Milwaukee, they're finally going to hit their Milwaukee spell. They're Cubs run away with the Central. I'll take the Cubs first, Milwaukee 2, Cincinnati 3, Cardinals 4, Not yet, Pittsburgh. You don't get us yet. I'm going to take the Cardinals 4, Pirates 5. Even though the Pirates have 2 aces at the front of the rotation and the Cardinals have none. But I'll take Cardinals 4th, Pirates 5th.
This is why you're a genius. I see through what you just did. I know this game that you've played. The reason that you're taking the Cubs, you have no belief in the Cubs whatsoever. The reason that you have taken the Cubs is because this is a win-win for you. If they do win the division, you could sit here and see, like, see, I put my bias aside. I always believed in the Cubs, and you look right. But if they don't, you can just laugh your way to the bank and go, ha, 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 typical Cubs. So I know what you did. I know exactly what you did. You hit him with a nice reverse jinx, a season-long reverse jinx. It's not going to fool me. It's not going to. I'm going to take the Milwaukee Brewers because whatever Milwaukee spell you said they're going to run into, I haven't seen that shit yet, brother. I don't know what the Milwaukee spell is. The only Milwaukee spell I see is the spell they put on every other team in the Central to finish below them in the standings. So I'm going to take the Brewers to win the division. I'm going to give the Cubs second place. I'm gonna put the Reds third again. I'll put the Pirates fourth, and then your Cardinals. They won't be an abomination, but they'll struggle. I'll put them fifth.
All right, National League West. I'm gonna take Los Angeles Dodgers to win the division. I know that's a surprise. I'm gonna take the San Francisco Giants to finish second.
Like that pick.
San Diego Padres third, Arizona Diamondbacks fourth.
Who's fifth?
Colorado.
I think that's good. Is there any concern at all that the Dodgers are just like, yeah, we don't care about the regular season, and they're totally content with winning 91 games? While the Giants have one of those years where they just play well above their expectations and finish with like 94 wins.
I don't see it happening because I think if it's close in August, they Dodgers turn it on.
Yeah, like I think they're just too talented to where like even if they just stopped trying, their talent alone will get them to 95 plus. Yeah, I mean it's truly up there as one of the best rosters ever assembled in the sport. So I'm going to take the Dodgers 1. I'm sad you stole my thunder a little bit because I am high on the Giants too. I have San Francisco finishing second in the division. It's pretty comfortably. I think they'll be closer. I think San Francisco will be closer to the Dodgers than they will to Arizona / San Diego. I think Giants are going to have a very, very solid year. Third, I think I'm going to go Arizona. I think the Padres are going to take a real step back this year. I don't love what's going on there. They just got too many question marks. And then, yeah, Colorado I don't think they're going to set the major league loss record. That's my bold prediction there. Okay. So
my playoff teams.
Yeah.
New York Mets, Chicago Cubs, Los Angeles Dodgers, Philadelphia Phillies, San Francisco Giants, and Atlanta Braves.
So 3 NL East teams.
See ya, Brewers.
I don't know why you've decided to take such an anti-Brewers stance. When they're 40 games above 500 in late August, you're going to be like, why did I do that? Okay, so yeah, I have Phillies, Brewers, Dodgers as your division champs. I think the Dodgers are going to be your 1 seed. I think the Phillies are going to be your 2 seed. I think the Brewers are going to be your 3 seed. My 3 wild cards. I have the Chicago Cubs at number 4. I have the San Francisco Giants at number 5. Actually, flip them. I got San Francisco at 4. I have the Cubs at 5. And then I have the New York Mets at 6.
Okay, there we have it. Let's spend a couple minutes just briefly giving are award winners in the big three in each league.
Yes.
American League MVP, you go first.
American League MVP. I'm assuming that Aaron Judge is going to be your favorite.
Plus 215.
Plus 215. But I will, just to be a little different, I will say that Judge doesn't win MVP, and instead, the MVP will go to Julio Rodriguez and the Seattle Mariners at plus 1,700.
17-1. I am going to take Bobby Witt at 5-1.
Kansas City, Huckleberry.
Yeah. National League MVP, I'm going to go first, and I am going to go Juan Soto at 9-1.
This may shock you, but I am going to eat the chalk here. I'm going to say Shohei Ohtani wins his 5th MVP award.
Okay. We are going to move on to the Cy Young. Cy Young in the American League, you go first.
Cy Young in the American League, it is going to be once again Tarik Skubal winning his 3rd straight Cy Young award.
I am going to agree with you. Skubal is plus 350, and I will take him, and you will take him. He's over Garrett Crochet, Cole Reagans, and Jacob deGrom are the top over there. I will take Skubal as well. All right, I am going to take in the National League. I am going to take Paul Skeens. Paul Skeens at plus 210.
A part of me wants to take Shohei Ohtani at plus 3,000 as the Cy Young winner. That would be cool. And honestly, I might just do it because that's really the only thing that he hasn't done on a baseball field yet is win the Cy Young. This is the first time that he's going into the season with the Dodgers in their rotation. It could be a year where maybe he does less offensively, but he does more pitching wise. I don't know. But him or Yamamoto would be my picks. I'm going to say Ohtani just to at the odds. At the odds. Why not? Right? Why not?
Yeah, that would be amazing. MVP and Cy Young. All right. I see you.
Why? It happens. God, Clayton Kershaw's done it. Justin Verlander's done it. It's not like it's insane. But also, those guys didn't hit 50 home runs as well.
American League Rookie of the Year. I am going to take the catcher from the Baltimore Orioles, Samuel Basallo, at 11-1 odds.
That's a good one.
Thank you.
I'll take the new Blue Jays 3rd baseman, Kazuma Okamoto. 29-year-old rookie. He's going to come in, hit 30 home runs his rookie year and win the award.
National League, just stop it. This is JJ Witherholt, 5-1.
Free money.
Yeah,
free money.
Although Nolan McLean, we saw him pitching at WBC. Connor Griffin's not even going to start with the big club. This Carson Benj for the Mets, he got a call up. Owen Cassie, Moises Ballesteros, those two guys have an opportunity. But I'm going to take JJ 5-1. Give me Witherholt.
I think the Connor Griffin thing is just the normal Pirates bullshit of like, oh, hey, we're just going to conveniently – we feel like you need some seasoning in the minors until April 21st or so. No reason. No, I'm going to say Nolan McLean. I'm going to say the favorite here gets it done and wins the Rookie of the Year.
I don't even think I want to do Manager of the Year. Who cares? Give me Skip Schumacher in the American League, though. Why not? Actually, if I'm going to pick Texas to finish 3rd, probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, it's probably a bad choice.
I'm not doing Manager. I'm not doing Manager.
I'm going to say who's the manager of the A's? Is it Mark Kotsay? Give me Mark Kotsay. Yeah. If he gets him to the playoffs, Mark Kotsay is going to be your Manager of the Year. Is that plus 1,300?
13.
And then NL. Who would be my? It's not Dave Roberts.
I mean, you'd probably go somebody like the Giants.
Yeah. Their new guy, Tony Vitello. Let's go, Tony Vitello, the guy, college baseball coach, first year in the major. I probably should have thought about that before being so high on them, but oh well, it's too late now.
Whatever. All right, let's get to our best bets for betting. Why don't we?
Oh, also, do we want to pick who's going to win the World Series?
Oh yeah, we probably should, huh?
Yeah. World Series matchup, and then who's your winner?
All right. So American League, I've got Toronto, Yankees, Detroit, Kansas City, Seattle, Houston. I am going to take the Seattle Mariners out of the American League.
Damn it.
And I am going to take the New York Mets
out
of the National League. And I'm going to take Seattle in 6 games over the Mets.
I will also take the Seattle Mariners.
Okay.
Damn it. Against the Dodgers.
Okay.
And the Dodgers winning that series in 6 games. There you go.
What could go wrong with Seattle?
What could go wrong? Surely you and I both taking the lone franchise that has never been in a World Series won't come back to bite us in the ass.
Yeah. Yeah. At least it's not Kansas City. At least we're not Kansas City's Huckleberry.
One of us isn't.
No.
All
right. So best bets for betting didn't go all that well for me.
Yeah. So yeah, go ahead here.
Santa Clara didn't cover against Kentucky. It ended up like 5, though. It went overtime. Akron didn't cover against Texas Tech. John Gross. Hofstra, Alabama scored 160, so they went over. Ding, ding, ding. Clemson laid an egg against the Hawkeyes, or maybe the Hawkeyes are just too damn good. And then Cal Baptist out of nowhere from the top rope, down 26. Got it to like 2 possessions late in the game. That was my indicator right there. Kansas is not winning Sunday night. When I saw the way Kansas finished Friday, you're not beating St. John's. I went 2-3 on the weekend, so I am now 72-78. That's not very good. That's not very good.
No. Well, fear not, viewers, because your boy came through. Wright State nearly beat Virginia as an 18.5-point dog. So shout out to them. Iowa State crushed Tennessee State. They were one of the most of the top 2 seeds handled business. Duke, not so much. Miami of Ohio, this one hurt. I really should probably watch them more because God, they suck. That team, just so white. Like they're just bad. St. John's cruised past Northern Iowa. Thanks for repping the Valley, Northern Iowa. And then the U in what I was told was a home game for Mizzou. That didn't matter. The U advanced past Mizzou. Had a great second round game against Purdue. I really thought they had a chance there up until the end. And so that's a 4-1 week for me. A good bounce back as we are now back to 500. And now that also means I have retaken a 3-game lead over Rodney as we will do some more best bets, presumably Sweet 16, Major League Baseball, what have you, in a couple days. So well done, me.
Yeah. We'll get some Friday games. We won't be able to get the Thursday games, but we can get the Friday games in there and anything NHL, NBA, or Major League Baseball for Friday. So good work. Good work by you. Good work. I'll tip my cap.
Thank you.
All right. Who are we remembering this time?
Well, truthfully, I'll pull back the curtain a little bit. We thought of the first name that came to our minds about 3 seconds before we went live. And I was just like, hey, remember Carlos Baerga? I'm sure that you probably remember Carlos Baerga pretty well. Played all throughout the 90s. Journeyman is probably not fair because he spent a lot of years in Cleveland, was on some pretty good Indian teams before then he bounced around the league, went to San Diego, the Mets. But Carlos Baerga, 3-time All-Star, all with Cleveland, had a season, Rodney, where in 1992 had a 6.3 WAR.
Yeah.
For the Cleveland Indians. He had 312. He had 20 homers, had 105 RBIs. He had 32 doubles, 205 hits. And that was only good enough to be 11th in MVP voting that year.
Yeah, the thing that stuck out to me the most on Carlos Baerga, and I'm not saying he was an underachiever, but I was shocked he only had 134 career home runs. That just seems low. Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess I just thought of him as a little bit more of a home run hitter.
Yeah, well, it's funny. His 2 seasons early on in his career, he had 20 and 21 homers. He never hit more than 21 homers in a single campaign. In fact, in 1996, when he had 10 homers, 12 homers was the last time that he had double digits in a single year. Later on in his career, it was 3 homers, 2 homers, 4 homers, and just, I guess, not really a power guy. And yeah, I probably would have expected some more power out of a guy who got 30 doubles a year, who drove in runs. He had 90 RBI seasons. Right. He drove in runs, but just wasn't a huge power guy. So yeah, I was definitely surprised by that.
Yeah, 3-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger in the Cleveland Guardians Hall of Fame. Played the World Baseball Classic twice. Played in the KBO as well. I did not realize that Carlos Baerga spent a season with the Samsung Lions, kind of in between his second stint with the Indians before he went to Boston. That's something I did not remember.
And now today, a lot of people are getting familiar with Carlos Baerga, not from when he was playing, but he has casually broken news stories about signings and baseball developments with Puerto Rican players. Like, there's been a couple instances over the last couple seasons where, with like Francisco Lindor and Carlos Correa, that he was the one who would like put out on his Instagram that like, oh, Carlos Correa is signing with so-and-so, or Lindor is signing with so-and-so. So like Carlos Baerga has sort of become like the Puerto Rican Jeff Passan of just dropping these random news stories, high profile negotiations, and all with like Puerto Rican players specifically. But that's sort of been like an interesting development with him. So clearly still very involved in like everything that's going on with Puerto Rican baseball. And if you've ever seen the Instagram posts of Carlos Baerga breaking a news story, that's him. That is him. It's not,
he's currently still in baseball. He's part of the Spanish broadcast for the Cleveland Guardians. So he's still plenty involved. And I think his son played for a while, right? Didn't he have a son, Carlos Jr.? Yeah.
Sounds familiar.
Yeah. I don't know what his career path is right now, but Carlos Baerga is a good one. Started with the Indians, Mets, Padres, Indians, Red Sox, Diamondbacks, Nationals.
2005 was his last year. I would have sworn that Carlos Baerga was done playing before the turn of the century. I have no memory of him playing Major League Baseball games well into the 2000s.
For Red Sox, Diamondbacks, and Nationals, all of them.
Yeah. Like 2005, the first Washington Nationals team he was on, 93 games for the first Washington Nationals. So there you go. Carlos Baerga. Shout out to you. And definitely the like perfect candidate for the Hall of Decency that you and I established years ago on the radio. Not Hall of Very Good at all. Hall of Decency. Yeah. You get a couple All-Stars thrown in. Yeah, I'd say so.
Yeah, he was a decent player. And that's okay. That's okay to be a decent player. You and I would love to be decent players in MLB.
I would love to have the career that Carlos Baerga had. You got 15 years in Major League Baseball. You got All-Stars. You got Silver Sluggers. Yeah. You're in the Team Hall of Fame. My God. Yeah. That is better. Yeah. That is better than like all but the top, the couple percent of players in the history of the sport.
Right. Yeah. No, a very, very decent career, Carlos. Shout out to you.
Shout out to you, Carlos. Hopefully you're listening, and give us a shout on your Instagram if you are. Yeah. All right. Well, that about does it for the show. Are you still doing Twitter Spaces even on the off days of the tournament?
Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow morning. Yesterday, we had Grant Leonard, head coach over at Queen's University. He joined us from the Royals, Queen's University Royals. He talked about his trip to the tournament. He talked about they went to St. Louis for their tournament, and he gave us a funny story that some of his players were like, "Coach, ain't that the murder capital of the world?" Oh, yeah, that's what they thought. That's how St. Louis is looking. He's like, no, guys, that's East St. Louis. That's a completely different state. Anyways, that's how the Queens Royals were looking at their trip to St. Louis. But he talked about they saw the stadium, they saw the arch, so they got to do some cool things. And Queens building a nice program there.
Oh, yeah. I love how you just brush it up. Yeah, it's in a totally different state as if you just can't see it, just like right across the river. It's not like it's far, but yeah, no, I get your point. Well, that's good, man. That's a good get. You got a NCAA tournament coach on the show.
Yeah.
And yet, who have you brought for the Stupidest Sports Show?
I mean, who do you want?
Anyone. I've already said we should get the guy who uses like astrology to figure out like how good an NBA lineup is going to be. Like those are the guests that we need.
Yeah. We'll have to put some thought into and get some guests here as NBA playoffs and baseball gets going. Maybe an NFL draft guy, Mel Kiper.
Yeah, Mel Kiper. Yeah, get Mel Kiper for me. I think that's how you make it right. Thank you. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, by the way, if you haven't done so already and you've been watching us tonight, make sure to give us a follow at Stupid Sports Show on Twitter. I think that's it. Also Rodney's putting out daily picks. He did it all throughout the NCAA tournament. He's doing it again every day. He's going to have a ton of baseball picks, I'm sure, with great analysis, such as Yankees got this one or Cardinals at home. You know, that's the analysis that the people need for their picks. And he's winning money. So make sure to sign up at Stupid Sports Show on Substack. We've had the QR code up on the screen all show. That's what it's for. You scan that, you go to the Substack, you can subscribe right there and get those picks sent to your inbox every day, single day.
I took your Ducks tonight, and there they are losing.
Well, I'm sure you probably have not been watching too many Anaheim Ducks games. This is every game for them. I think of all the 70 games they've played, they've maybe scored the first goal like 10 times.
Yeah.
They just don't. They're like, okay, once we're down by 2 goals, now we can start playing hockey. Even against the worst team in the NHL by a mile in the Vancouver Canucks. So, we'll see how that goes. But yeah, good luck to you.
My Blues started the night 8 points out. Not going to happen. Not going to happen.
They make the playoffs, bro.
Nope, not making the playoffs. But your Ducks have a 7-point cushion to make the playoffs. So it's going to be playoff time in Anaheim here in about a month.
I'm very excited. I'm very excited for this season. It's been everything I dreamed of and more. They're up by 4 points in the division with 2 games in hand. It'll be 1 game in hand, but Vegas lost today. So I love all the people who are bitching about like the Pacific Division being so weak and like you got Connor McDavid be like, the pillow fight, blah blah blah. You know, Connor McDavid's never won the Pacific Division.
Yeah.
And he's on the verge of letting an Anaheim Ducks team that hasn't made the playoffs in 8 years win the division before he does. So suck on that one, McDavid.
Yeah. Until he bounces you into playoffs.
Okay. That means that we'll have won a playoff series. If we lose to Connor McDavid in the second round, that's a hell of a lot better than being on draft watch in December, which is what every year has been for the past 8 years. So I will gladly lose to McDavid in the playoffs.
Mm. So. All right. Yeah, I'll put my Substack out, and we'll be back Thursday night. I might be finishing up my drive from St. I should be home. I should be home by 9. The game's at 3:50. Oh yeah, I'll be home. But I'll be here Thursday night to recap that Cardinal opener. I know you're all excited for.
Please do. Yeah. That's I want a highlight package set up for the show. Perfect.
Yeah.
All right. He's Rodney Newpel. I'm Tim the Yankee Clipper Van Stratton. Enjoy the next couple days of baseball. It has finally arrived. Enjoy the NCAA tournament. We'll be back Thursday nights to recap everything. 9 p.m. right here on Twitter, on YouTube, however you're watching us. Thanks to everyone who watched us. We had a lot of fun tonight. We'll do it again on Thursday. So let's get out of here. Have a good night, everyone. This has been episode 138 of the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth. See you guys.
See ya.
Step right up, dummies, and listen to the Stupidest Sports Show on Earth with Rodney Newpel and Tim Van Stratton. Yeah.